That is some tasty H2O. Hey everybody, Paul Brooks here from B Movie Mania. And as you can see, I am drinking a tall drink of water to celebrate, kind of as a tribute to the tall drinks of water that we're going to be discussing tonight on tonight's double feature. Welcome to the show. Let's get right into it. Movie number one is, of course, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Now, this is the 1993 remake starring Daryl Hannah. You see her there. And I got this from CD Trader, apparently. I don't remember if I actually paid $5.99 for it, which is what it says on the cover there. But yeah, this is the 1993 remake. I don't have the original 1958 film here, so I will not be reviewing that. Apologies if you came here for that, but this is the remake that HBO put out, and you know, I rewatched this tonight actually in preparation for tonight's episode, and I was really hoping to like it a lot more the second time around. Sometimes that happens. You watch a movie the second time around and you pick up on more things and it gets better the second time around. This thing is just so slow. Nothing happens for the first half of the movie. She doesn't even really turn into the 50-foot woman until a solid 45 minutes into the movie, which certainly older movies that used to be the case, where there's a lot more setup and there's a lot more build up to everything, and that's fine. I usually don't mind that, you know, style of filmmaking, but there's just something about this movie that it just didn't work. It just did not work for me, and I wish I had better news for you. Daryl Hannah is perfectly fine in the role. I think she makes a good 50-foot woman. Who else is in this thing? Daniel Baldwin is in it. Of course, it was directed by the great Christopher Guest, who I'm a big fan of. I love just about everything that he's done, really, from Spinal Tap to, I mean, I know that he didn't direct Spinal Tap, but being in Spinal Tap and all, you know, like Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show and all the mockumentaries that he's done. Love it. Great stuff. So he's directing this movie. And there are some interesting elements to it. I mean, it has sort of a throwback vibe to it. Water's kicking in. There's like a really neat drive-in movie theater featured in the film. And it's neat, actually. At one point at the drive-in, they are showing the original Attack of the 50-Foot Woman on the drive-in screen. So things get kind of meta for a second there. There's a neat like motel. The whole thing takes place in sort of like a sleepy little desert town, which I'm usually a big fan of. So I'm not trying to say by any means that I hated this movie, that there were some, like I said, some elements that I appreciated. The desert scenery was nice. Some of it was done seemingly on a set, so it has that sort of like twilight glow in the distance. So it looks okay. The movie looks pretty good. The special effects in terms of like the 50-foot woman stuff is actually pretty good too. I mean, it's dated, you know, it's obviously, you can tell that it's not state of the art by today's standards by any means, but for the time period, it's pretty okay. There's some miniature work and stuff like that. She picks up cars, and you know, so there's some kind of old school fun elements to it. But in terms of the story, it's about Daryl Hannah's character, Nancy Archer, is having marital problems. She's married to Daniel Baldwin, his character, and he's cheating on her, and she's very frustrated. And basically, she drives out into the desert, and like a UFO puts like a beam on her and does something to her to eventually transform her into the 50-foot woman. But it only happens when she gets mad, I guess. So kind of like the Incredible Hulk, although it's not like she goes back and forth. She gets mad once, she turns into the 50-foot woman. I won't spoil the ending for you. The ending is kind of an interesting take on things. And again, I can't really compare this one to the original film, the original Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, because if I have seen that film, it's been a really long time. So there's just not much that I can say about it in terms of the similarities or the differences. This one does have a little bit of a like feminist slant to it. They try to do some interesting things with it in terms of like, you know, when Daryl Hannah's character becomes big, it allows her to like kind of take more control of her own life. So they tried to say something with it. Christopher Guest, and let's see who wrote this screenplay by Joseph Doherty, based on the motion picture written by Mark Hannah. So they do try to sort of update it for the times and add some. They even talk about post-feminism in the film. So there's some interesting stuff to it. And if you've never seen it and you happen to find it somewhere, either streaming or you find it out in the wild somewhere for a couple bucks, I don't think it, you know, would be the worst thing in the world if you pick this up, because I do think it's worth a watch at some point. It's just not, don't expect it to become one of your all-time cult, you know, favorites or anything like that. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman from 1993 is movie number 1. Movie number 2, moving right along. And I'm pretty excited to talk about this. I just got it in the mail from oldies.com. This is Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold. I'm trying to get it. There you go. Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold. My AC just kicked on. This is a parody of the remake, because this movie came out in 1995, so I think it was pretty much a response to Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I don't know if Attack of the 50-Foot Woman did well. I don't know if it was a big hit for HBO or not, but this is definitely, basically all this is like a softcore parody of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It's also very slow, maybe not quite as slow as Attack of the 50-Foot Woman is, but it's not action packed by any means, unfortunately. But this is the main star of the film. Her name is, I want to say, J.J. North. Yes, J.J. North is the titular, if you will, and I do mean titular, star of Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold, which, by the way, when you watch the movie, the title is Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfolds, because there are multiple girls in the film. I don't know if you can kind of catch a glimpse of them right there. But there are multiple sort of like playmates, basically, is what this comes down to. And this was produced and directed by Fred Olen Ray, who has done a lot of movies, who is, you know, sort of known for this type of fare right here. And I had fun watching this, I'm not gonna lie. It's goofy, it's stupid. There's boobs if you're into that sort of thing. There's quite a bit of TNA. I mean, it's called Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold. I don't know what else you would expect, really. So there's some of that going on. This says, she's so hot you'll need to call 911. And then there's like a fire truck down there. I don't particularly remember a fire truck in the movie. I don't think that scene actually happens, which is fine. But the story is different. The story, quick look at the back here. The story differs quite a bit from Attack of the 50-Foot Woman in that J.J. North's character, her name is Angel. Angel is obsessed with beauty. She's obsessed with looking beautiful. And there's a doctor who gives her sort of like an experimental serum in order to enhance her beauty. And you see like a photo of her of like sort of what she used to look like at some point. And so apparently this stuff, this potion, if you will, works pretty well. It says right here, for Angel Grace, this opportunity is too good to pass up. She enlists the help of a doctor who promises her great endowments with a secret beauty-enhancing program. But something goes wrong, and surprise, surprise, Angel turns into a 60-foot centerfold. So yeah, it's kind of, again, they try to say a little something here about, I guess, the dangers of, you know, obsessing too much on how you look, obsessing too much about being beautiful. Because what ends up happening is she just starts downing these vials of the potion like it's candy, like she's doing, you know, shots of something, and that's what turns her into the 60-foot woman. But it is fun. Special features on the back here. You got cast and crew biographies and an original trailer. I think you have, yeah, you have cast and crew biographies on 60-Foot Woman too. It's like, I guess, a thing that DVDs used to do a lot, where it's like, if you want to learn about the people that are in the movie, sort of like prior to the internet being at your disposal immediately at all times, you just flip through the special features and check out, oh, let's see who, you know, let's read about what J.J. North has been doing, or George Stover is in this movie, I should point out. George Stover, of course, was in Night Beast, one of B Movie Mania's favorite films, and you know, shout out to Night Beast Industries for sponsoring us for so long. Yeah, it's okay. Both of these movies are okay. I wish I had something a little bit more positive to say about them, but I would also recommend checking this out as well. I think I got this for $4 on oldies.com, which, by the way, dangerous website. I got on oldies.com the other night and I started just kind of rooting around a little bit, and I dropped more money than I wanted to in a matter of like 10 minutes. So be careful if you get on that website, because it could put a dent in your wallet really quick. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode of tonight's double feature. We will get a thumbnail going on here real quick. Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah. All right, we're going to do that right there. Thank you for watching.